Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we're going to be checking out the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Skeletor, based on his appearance in the brand new Netflix animated series. It's a whole new cartoon series aimed at a younger audience, and they get a whole toy line just to themselves. But I like toys, and I like He-Man, so I can't not pick these up and check them out, especially Skeletor, my all-time favorite villain. And honestly, I really like this representation of Skeletor. Yes, the designs are a bit, different. They're very stylized. They got odd proportions, but I think this Skeletor is a lot of fun in the show. So this is the one I was most excited to pick up, and we're going to check him out here today. Same style packaging we're seeing for all of these particular figures based on that new show. However, we do have a nice image of Skeletor from the cartoon up at the top. Still have that image of Castle Grayskull. Still have the ugly barcode on the front of the box. I hate that. As we rotate this around to the back, we just have the images of the figure within, showing his power attack action feature, and a tiny little cross-cell showing 2 more figures currently available, and then a whole bunch of text on there. So, very simplistic packaging. I do like the fun shapes, though, with the card back and everything. But let's go and rip this open and get a closer look at the figure within. All right, so we've got our evil Lord of Destruction Skeletor outside of the packaging, and once again bringing in the tape measure to show you guys that these are in the 5.5-inch scale, so they do fit in with like your Origins figures, your vintage figures. We can go ahead and stand them alongside like Origins He-Man here. You can see that they stand in the same scale, but obviously the proportions are very different with these figures, but I really do feel like they did a great job of capturing the overall likeness of these characters as they appeared in this new animated series. Now, Skeletor is actually a really fun design. I actually really like Skeletor's design in the show. Yes, it's a bit goofy. It's a bit stylized. They got these huge upper bodies with the huge biceps. Gains, bro, gains. Tiny little pinheads, small little legs, but that's the way they're proportioned in the show. And honestly, I think it's a fun look for Skeletor. I kind of love this crackly look right here up on the neck where you can see the yellow kind of crackled in the black there. I love his bright yellow face. You can see that it's molded in this like neon yellow, so it does kind of wash out a lot of the details that are sculpted in there, but he does have the beady red eyes poking out. One of the things I really like about this Skeletor that's a bit unique is he's got one bone hand. So you can see on the left, it is molded in that same bright yellow plastic. There is a chain that is molded around it that's unpainted, but it's interesting to look at the details that are worked in there. And then he's got the normal hand over on the right. He's still, same color scheme as always, yellow bone face, purple outfit with the bright blue skin. I actually really like his harness here, how it kind of looks like the Havoc staff. Like it's a skull on the front and then the horns wrap around to kind of form his armor. I think that's a pretty neat design. And then his belt is like this little chain link belt that's got almost like this like snake fang there on the front. So pretty cool. And then if you notice his feet are definitely inspired by the vintage Skeletor feet, like the demon feet there. That is really cool. Of course, he is also wearing pants now because they put pants on all these guys. They always seem to do that. They like to try to put pants on He-Man and Skeletor when they reboot them. I don't know. But overall, I think this is a really fun looking figure. I love the bright colors. He's so bright, so vibrant. Definitely looks like something that kids would be drawn to. So the articulation on this guy is super minimal. Just like with He-Man, the arms only move forwards and backwards at the shoulder. It's a bit softer, the armor is, over his shoulders, but it is going to hinder the movement just a bit. They can really only come up to here before they stop. Then you can swivel at the wrists. The head is not articulated. This is all a solid piece in here, so you cannot turn his head. I wish we could at least get some head movement there, but it is locked in place. So otherwise, you got the hinge joints there at the thighs, so legs can go outwards, forwards and backwards, and then you've got the swivels at the feet there. The torso only turns in the middle here, but that of course is his power punch action feature, just like with He-Man and just like on the vintage toys. When you turn him, you can turn his waist there and boom, he snaps back with a power punch, but also you can bend him backwards and he snaps forwards with a power punch or power headbutt or whatever you want to call that there. Now, I will say, minimal articulation aside, he still seems nice and well balanced, especially since he's got the larger upper body and the smaller legs. He stands pretty well, so I don't have any problems with him there. However, I will say that the legs on Skeletor are more loose than the legs on my He-Man figure were, specifically the left leg. So you can kind of see how it's like just a little floppy there. Look at that. Oh, actually, both of them, look, they're both kind of flopping around. So I wish that the joints were a little bit tighter up here. Maybe that's just mine, because I did not have that problem with my He-Man. Look at, like, my He-Man legs are really, really tight joints, so I don't know why the Skeletor ones are so loose. Now, again, he seems to be balancing fine, but I can imagine that could wear out over time, so I would really like to see those tightened up a little bit, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I just got a bad one. So as far as his accessories go, he does come with the Havoc Staff, of course. The Havoc Staff is just unpainted. It's got kind of a neat design. You can see how the skull sort of matches his armor there and everything. I wish there was a little bit more color in there, but I guess it's unpainted plastic like on the vintage toys and like on Origins. But here's what I really don't like about it. It's all hollowed out on the back, and we know that that's a cost-saving measure, but I really don't like that because it makes it feel so light and hollow and just feels cheap. So I definitely wish there was a bit more weight, a bit more substance to the Havoc Staff. Now, he does hold on to it just fine. You can get him to grip it there in his regular hand or his bone hand, and both hands get a nice tight grip on it so we can complete the look of Skeletor. And I guess I should show you guys, like I had He-Man beating up Skeletor before, but Skeletor could do it to He-Man too. Boom! Power punch! Like, seriously, I'm really impressed with how good the spring-loaded power punch feature works on these guys. All right, my friends, it's comparison time. Let's go ahead and start by standing Skeletor alongside both the Origin Skeletor and the Vintage Skeletor, just to show you the similarities in their scale, but the overall differences in their style. And we're going to go ahead and do a massive Skeletor comparison time, just so we can show all the different reboots of the character, so you can see how they all compare. So there you go, my friends. That is a look at the brand new Skeletor from the Netflix He-Man and the Masters of the Universe animated series. All in all, I do think it's a fun figure. As a collector, I have my nitpicks, but these toys, I know that these are made for kids. I think this is a very fun toy to play with. The action feature seems to be, like the biggest component of this. They're really focusing on the features, and that's cool for kids' toys. I love the bright colors. I love how big and chunky they feel, especially in a kid's hand. I think that's super important. That's part of what made the vintage line so fun. So yeah, overall, I do think this is a pretty fun toy. So this new line is beginning to hit Walmart stores right now. That's where I found mine. I believe the price point is $11.99. I'm just hoping that these will hit in droves because I would love if kids were able to find these easily to play with them. Thank you guys so very much for watching this video, and until next time.